1, 2, 3. Let's go, baby. First question. I love it, man. Back in high school wrestling, we had a little mantra that we would say all day, every day. Nothing to it but to do it. Please believe us, TV needs us. Yes, sir. I truly believe my upperclassmen guys got me ready for that moment. Compete under the bright lights. And I feel like this is no different, competing for the UFC on the biggest stage. And this is what dreams are made of, man. So when you get here, you want to strive for opportunities like this. Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking, but it comes with the sport, it comes with the territory, and this is what I enjoy. And based on accolades, O'Malley's probably on the longer list of accomplishments. I mean, the only guy he's ever beat by split decision is Petr Yan. Everybody else is out of the UFC. So it's a tough test. The guy in front of you is always the toughest competition. So I'm not overlooking him by any means. He's long, he's rangy. I made sure I brought in some great training partners to get the looks and doing the same type of mannerism that he does in the octagon. And I can't wait to go out there and show out and put on a show for Long Island and show everybody what Long Island power is all about. I think the shorter time for me to turn around and make the weight, I thought it was going to be worse than what it was, but honestly, coming from a wrestling background, we make weight every single week. So I honestly think he might have done me a favor not letting the weight stick too long. And I think I'm in the best shape I've ever been in my entire life, so I'm ready to go, man. My weight's down. My prediction, second round, I think TKO, but if he gives me his neck, he's got that long, daddy long neck out there, so if he leaves that out there, I'm gonna strangle his ass. Man, I want to leave records that's going to be extremely hard to beat for decades, man. Just to go on the run that myself and Marab has went on is unparalleled. There's not a lot of guys who had a winning streak this long as either one of us. I think we're both tied at 9, and that's something extremely hard to do, especially in a stacked division like this. So we're chasing records, man. I try not to think about it too much. I take it one fight at a time. I love the shirt. And that's really what it's all about. I want to be in the history books. I want to try to immortalize my name as best as I can. So when people are studying tapes, watching bantamweight history, they could be looking at my fights, trying to break down what I was able to do differently from all these guys that were labeled the next biggest thing, the next biggest killers that's going to be super tough to beat, but we're out there beating them. So I think that's what it's all about in terms of legacy. I love it, man. That shit gives me energy. Nah, look at my fights. You see me, I walk around, I look around the arena, and I pretend it's all for me. I'm like, even if it's not for me, if I know I'm the enemy, I walk in there, I'm like, y'all here to see me. Whether you're here to see me win, you're here to see me lose. This is my crowd, my moment, my opportunity. And that's what I love about MMA. You get an opportunity to dictate your future by what you do inside this room when nobody's watching. And that's what I love about it. There's no secrets in here. You go out there, you prepare well in here, do all your homework, you go out there, you pass the test. And I look forward to doing that on August 19th. Hell yeah. I double down on myself every time, so if you're asking me, I double down on myself every time. I bet on myself every single time, so for me, I'm not telling you what to do with your money. I know what I'm doing with my money. I bet on me, baby. I bet on me. Yeah. After this fight, definitely, if things go the way that I believe and envision is going to go, smash O'Malley. I believe take my downtime, bulk up a little bit, and take out Alexander Volkanovski. I say just be a student of the game, man. That's really it. I think there's always something you can learn, even from the wackiest, kookiest person in the gym. Sometimes they do things a little unorthodox, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Take tools and bits and pieces from everybody, see what works for you, your style, your body type, your build, and try to make it your own and apply it when you possibly can. You know, I'm a big freestyle fighter. I know a lot of these guys think like I go in there and I don't know what I'm doing. I adapt, and I think that's one of the biggest things. If you are so versatile that you can adapt in the moment, that's what makes a dangerous fighter, because you never know what to expect. And these days I ask myself, you being a little bitch right now? I really do. And like you get up sometimes, you're so sore, you don't want to work out. I remember doing 2 days, sometimes 3 days at SUNY Cortland, crazy wrestling practices. And obviously I was 21 back then, so it was a little easier on the body. Now I'm a little bit older, so I got a little bit more wisdom. But I think there's a fine balance in knowing when to push and knowing when to pull back, and that takes experience. Because sometimes as a wrestler, we'll just run ourselves to a brick wall over and over again and get diminishing returns. So that's one of the things I had to learn. I mean, I've had a fight with Brian Caraway where I got exhausted after 4 minutes of the fight, is because I just did too much. You know, and that comes with experience. Learning how to know when you're ready, and just believing in the work, trusting the process. I want to smash this guy's face, bro. I want to smash the ugly mole-rat, the naked mole-rat that he is. When I take this man down, that naked mole-rat is getting smashed, bro. Smash. I want him to pay for everything that he said, all the trash talk, everything, all his Dana White privilege. I ain't had none of that, and I can't wait to take it out on him. I don't know. I really don't know. My wrestling style, I've never been really good at like shooting. I've been always good at upper body, so when I get in the clinch, when I say I'm gonna fold him like a lawn chair, I really do believe that. I get my hands locked around that twig's little waist. I'm gonna fold the spine in half. Pause. A whole lot of pause. Let me get someone in here. He too little, man. He too little. Mighty Mouse is great, but he too little, man. There's a reason why he lost to Dom. It wasn't a skill deficiency, it's size. Sometimes size does matter. I think skill for skill, he was probably better than Dom, But when you get a guy who will pick you up off your toes and just slam you on the ground over and over, I think that's a hard task. He's skilled, but I think Father Time has passed him a little bit. And if he wants this work and try to get some revenge for Henry Cejudo, I can give him some work too. So, Mighty Mouse, where you at? You ever see an egg? That was that fight for me. It was a good first round. Outside of that, it was nothing very, very exciting to watch. Sucks for Rob Font because he showed that he has no idea how to get off of his back and probably would have drowned if he got in there with myself or Marab. So, good riddance. Brian Caraway. That's a guy I still can't believe I lost him. I would rather get that fight back more than the Moraes fight, to be honest. That's just a guy, I don't know. It is what it is. It was a big learning lesson, and I think that's the fight I would definitely want back. I'm not really, when I transitioned from high school to college, I jumped right into the practice rooms with the upperclassmen, so I got to work right away. I had a big learning curve, learning that college wrestling was a lot different, man strength versus little boy strength, and learning how to wrestle against those guys. So jumping in the room right between the seasons, man, I was a mad rat. As soon as wrestling season was over, I started wrestling in 10th grade, so I had a lot of work to do to catch up to everybody. And that's what I mean when you want to close the gap, you want to be a student of the game, you want to accomplish stuff, you got to really put yourself in the trench. And only you can hold yourself accountable, knowing how much work you're truly putting in. There ain't gonna be someone always on your back to hold your hand and make you do the stuff you know you're supposed to do. And I think that's the difference between a lot of our guys in this gym that separate us from a lot of those bigger gyms where these guys got all the training equipment that they could possibly ask for and they're still not doing, as well as a small place like this. Look at this wall, man. This is where it's all at, man. This is where it's at. Small one. Kind of hard to say. I feel like I've had so many moments like that in my career. I really learned how to fight on the job within the UFC, and I just tried my best to try to get better every single fight. I would say my breakout fight was probably my fight with Pedro Munoz. I had a really bad wrist before I got the surgery, so I couldn't really get takedowns, so I was forced to stand and trade with the guy, and I outstruck a guy who people thought was going to knock me out, and that's probably one of my more fun fights, and put me in the hospital later on, but it was definitely one of my more fun fights, even for myself, as more dangerous as it was for my style. So I think that was more of a comfort moment, knowing that I can do whatever I want, whatever I put my mind to. Dominic Cruz was the first guy. First guy, him, John Jones, Weidman, Iaquinta, Diaz, GSP, Jose Aldo. Man, I watched a lot of these guys. I don't really miss a fight, and that's what I mean. I'm submerged into the sport. This is all I do. I don't really do anything else, man. Some might say it's kind of a boring life, but this is what you got to do when you want to be great at something, and I truly believe I put my time in, and that's why I'm here in this position. I don't like using the word force, but it was decided before I had an opportunity to discuss my health and things like that. But then after I had an opportunity to talk to Hunter and kind of clear the air with everything, they did some good things behind the scene which made it more comfortable for me to oblige. And when I looked at the positives, man, it's my second main event. It's against a very, very big name who's got a bunch of Instagram followers, that kids that play Fortnite all day long. So it's a good opportunity to showcase my skill set to those younger crowd and take all his little fans. And then that's really what it's all about. It's a great opportunity, man. So I'm gonna try to capitalize on this moment as much as I can. Try to have my breakout fight and put on for Long Island once again. Definitely miss pizza. I haven't had a slice of pizza in like 4 weeks. So definitely crushing some pizza. Gonna crush some oxtail, some rice and peas. Cannot wait to bust down something nice after this fight. But after this fight, we'll do that all after the fight. Just training, man. I think the best thing about this sport is that you see people in here from all around the world, different countries, and even wrestling. Wrestling gave me an opportunity to go outside of my boundaries of Uniondale. I grew up in Roosevelt, I moved to Uniondale. I never traveled, never went to other neighborhoods, and wrestling gave me an opportunity to see what other school districts were like, other facilities, and travel the world, compete in different states. And then when I started fighting, it exploded even more. I've been to Australia, I've been to Poland, Bali. I've been to all these amazing places, met so many people around the world, and I would never have that opportunity if it wasn't for fighting. So I truly do believe wrestling saved my life, and MMA is something that I'm truly grateful for, and I never take it for granted, because if I wasn't doing this, you guys probably more than likely wouldn't be here right now. You know what I mean? So I think this is what it's all about, having these moments. I really do appreciate everybody taking their time out to come out on a Friday, because it is happy hour, and I know you guys could be outside doing a lot of other festivities. So. These guys mean everything. I look at it as this is who I started with, man. Like, yeah, I started upstate New York, but I think my career really started to take off when I came down here and had a good training facility with people that were actually in it to win it. You know, before obviously all the injuries, Al was like one of my main training partners. I had Pat DeFranco, Johnny Bowman, Anthony Jenkins, all these tough Long Island guys. And then you kind of see the phases of new faces coming in, new people that were aspiring to be like us as we started to become the upperclassmen, looking up to guys like Wyman, Vellante. So these guys are everything for me. You know, having these guys as mentors, coming out with me to these fights, they give up their weekends, they give up their time to put extra work in with us, sometimes on Sunday nights. And I think that's what it's all about, man. We truly do work hard, and I think that's why we've had the success that we had in such a short amount of time, and with such, I don't think we have the greatest resources, but I mean, this is what a gym is. We got a cage, we got the mats, and we got people with good attitudes and that come in and that work hard. I think if Sean is hoping for me to have a bad weight cut, that is the worst game plan or hopeful, wishful thinking to have to become a UFC champion. If your goal is to win a belt by fighting someone at their weakest, then that says a lot about his character and who he is as a man. I want to fight you at your best. Give me your best. Give me the best guy, the most dangerous guy. I've been calling out Petr Yan since 2019. They kept him away from me. I called out Corey Sandhagen. They kept him away from me until they couldn't anymore. So I want to fight the biggest. I want to fight the baddest guys. And I think that's the difference between his mentality and my mentality. So if he's banking on that, good luck. I'll see him on the scale, 135 championship weight, easy all day long, and then I'll whoop that ass on Saturday night. I think Sean's got good striking. I think my striking is a little more unorthodox. He's got like long, rangy attacks, but I think my timing is good. I think my rhythm is hard to predict. And I know I'm strong. If he hits that black line in that canvas and he puts his back on that cage, I'm taking his ass down. And I think it's not a matter of the first time, it's just a matter of when, in my personal opinion. I get him down one time, the fight could be over. So good luck to him. May the best man win. I'm coming in there to make a statement and smash his. I think the guy in front of you is always the most dangerous. He's had a lot of time to prepare for a grappler. I beat his grappling coach in a fight already, Taquinho Mendez, who is a two-time ADCC world champion. So let's see if O'Malley can take some lessons from him, keep the fight standing, or maybe do something better than his coach. But in my personal opinion, he's going to be the toughest test to date. He's got good tools, he's fast, he's got good reflexes. He used to play basketball, so he's got some quick like little feints and things like that. So I got to just make sure I'm sharp, see the shots coming, make him miss, close the distance, climb his back like a tree, and just strangle that motherfucker. I don't know. I don't give a shit. I'm focused on me. I think they're relatively even. I think it's just different in the sense of physique. It's like playing a guy in basketball who isn't very good, but he's 7 foot tall, you know? So it's a little bit different. He's got the range over, he's 5'11", fighting guys that are 5'5". It's easy to look like a genius like that, to see how he looks when he fights someone with just as much of a reach as him, and almost not as tall, but a lot stronger than him. So we'll see what that fight looks like. Let me get some new guys. Let me get my man in the back. Yep. Hey, this is what happens when you call people to zero. You gotta show respect. You call somebody zero, that you end up becoming the zero overnight. So this sport will humble you, man. You think that you're here, and overnight you'll be at rock bottom. And I think he's tough enough to bounce back. He just needs to stay away from the wrestlers and stay away from Sarah Long, because unless he wants another L. Let's just say that. Let's do one more, and then we'll get some photos going. Hey, you guys are making me pick. I don't want to have to pick. I try not to even think about that, man. At the end of the day, I'm comfortable in my own skin. Records speak for themselves. 10, 20 years from now, when people look at the records, they're not going to say, oh, that was a close fight, he didn't deserve to win. It's just going to say W. And that's all I care about. At the end of the day, what Dominic Toretto say, doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile, win is a win. So if you bet me, you put the money up, and I get the W, that's what it's all about. So whether or not it's about getting the respect or feel underappreciated, numbers don't lie. So at the end of the day, people can say whatever they want. If you got a problem, come do something about it. Step in there with me, come do something about it. Let's do photos, guys, if you want to do a